Hello everyone and welcome to the very first chapter of this tutorial, that is NextJS plus WordPress, wherein we are going to merge these two platforms, and we are going to use the WordPress as a backend and NextJS as a front end. So the very first chapter today we are going to learn is the dynamic metadata. So what we are going to do is we are going to create a dynamic metadata that is fetched from the WordPress backend. So this is the front end that I have created, or this is the layout of the blog site that I have created to save time. And this is our WordPress admin panel, wherein we will be storing our post and our blogs and all. So first of all, since we are going to fetch the metadata dynamically, we'll go to our admin panel. And in order to fetch these details, we would be using a plugin by the name GraphQL. So let's go to Add Plugins, Add New Plugin, and here we will search GraphQL, and we will just install this. So this is the one, WP GraphQL. Somewhat looks like an elephant. So we'll just activate this, and we have got the GraphQL over here. So just click here and it will take us to this interface, wherein we have this option for a query composer. So inside the query composer, so first of all, we will fetch the site information. So we'll just simply go to this general settings, and inside this, we will select title and the description and just run this query and see what we are getting. So yes, we are getting the site title, that is district coverage, and the description or the tagline. So we will be using this query to fetch the data. So first of all, uh, we'll just go to our Visual Studio, and here inside the utils, so we will be creating, since we will be fetching the data every time, so we are going to create a new function. Let's say GQL, and it would be GQL or fetch data, or say fetch data.js, and here we will create a function export async function fetch data, and we will pass a query. Now we will use let response is equals to fetch. We will use a fetch post function, and here the GraphQL query, the GraphQL API would be this, the domain name followed by the word GraphQL, domain name / GraphQL. So if we go to the settings, you can see the endpoint path for the GraphQL API on the site is this. So that is the domain name / GraphQL. So this is the API URL we are using. Like this. And now we will pass the query over here. Query like this. And what we will do is we will store the response in a JSON format. So await response.json, and we will return the response. So this is our fetch data. Yeah, this is our fetch data function. We will close this. Now we are going to fetch this information. So site info. So first of all, we will copy this query, and now we will create inside the utils, we will create another file, uh, site info slash get site info.js. So inside this, we will write export async function get site info, and here we will write the query const query is equals to, we'll write it inside a escape string like this, and all right, now we will call our fetch function. So for that, we'll write const data or const info is equals to, or we can write const result is equals to await fetch data. We'll call this function, and inside this we will pass our query like this, and then we will return the response. So return result. And now let's go ahead and check if we are able to fetch this data or not. So for that, we'll just go to the home page. Go to the home page, and here we will make it export default async function, and let's say const site info is equals to await get site info, and we'll just log this out, site info, and we will check the okay, it says compiling this fetch failed. All right, it says DC coverage. Let's check the fetch function once again. Well, it's absolutely correct. Hostname DC admin dot feature your solution. Now there might be an error over here. Let's try to do this and see if we are able to fetch the data now. So get site info, we have got the query. We have passed the query over here. Await response.json. All right, now let's check. Get site info, and see. Let's refresh the web page. All right, so we are able to fetch the data here. So there was a problem with the fetch function. So we will have to write the fetch function again and again, but that's not the solution we are looking for. So export async function, fetch data query, fetch data query param. Let's say query param, and we'll try to do this another way. Now const result is equals to await fetch data, and then we'll pass the query over here, and let's return the result. So it says GraphQL must declare at least one of these parameters query. So it's working now. The only thing we need to do is we'll have to write it like this: query param. And here we are able to fetch the data now. See, we are getting the data here in JSON format. Now we'll just close this, and instead of doing it like this, instead of exporting the entire JSON file, we will just simply we will just simply export the site name and the tagline. For that, let's not export this. Now we'll write const. So the data that we have got is inside data, general settings, and then title. So what we will do is, even we can see the format over here like this. Now what we will do is const site name is equals to await. Const site name is equals to await, or we can do is we can create a variable const site info, or site data is equals to await get site info, like this. And now we can write export const site name is equals to site data dot, and then we have this data, and then we have general settings dot general settings, and then we have title dot title. And let's try to fetch the site name in our home page. So we'll just remove this thing, and let's try to fetch the site name and see if we are able to fetch it or not. So after banner, we are not able to see anything over here. All right, let's put it in console log site name. Let's refresh it. So there is some sort of problem with the server. It's not reloading by default. So let's just, reset it, restart the server. So npx next dev. Just wait for it. Hello world. Cool. Now, all right, now we'll just go here and we'll try to print the site name and see. Yeah, so we are getting the site name over here, district coverage. Now, the same way we will export the tagline as well. Now we'll write export const tagline is equals to site data dot general settings dot, and it would be, this time it would be description. It would be description. So we have got the site name and the tagline. Now we can close this file, and the home page we can write. So if you guys remember, previously when we learned about the metadata, we used to write like this: export const metadata is equals to, oh sorry, my bad, it's title, and here we'll write site name, and let's refresh it. So we've got the site name over here. If you can see the tab, it says district coverage, and same way we'll just put a dash, and we'll call the tag name as well, tagline, and the tagline is exported, and now we have got the tagline as well. So all right, yeah, so we have got the site name as well as the tagline. So that's all in the dynamic metadata chapter. So we'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for your time and have a nice day.